Hello and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of a different character or group every episode. I'm Blue, and my usual co-hosts have abandoned me in coal mines. So we have a returning guest for the second time on this series. For those who may remember, Andy, how you doing?
Ooh, who said you could talk to me? Get back to work.
Oh,
Hello.
it's been a long time. What fucking episode was the Venom episode? That was in like the 30s, I think. I'm gonna look that up real quick. I'm actually curious now. That was a long fucking time ago now. A lot of shit has happened.
Oh god, yeah.
God. Jeez, I'm still scrolling. Oh, 20s. It was episode 27.
Oh my god.
Well, welcome to episode 102.
Thanks, I love being here.
Yeah, so like I said, Jordan and Margot have both been dealing with some stuff. I think Margot has been slowly dealing with the process of moving to a new place, and Jordan has just been busy with life and also his voice hurty. So we went a couple weeks without anybody to record with. And I was like, okay, I guess that means that I just won't record anything because I would rather not have an episode than go back to the dark ages of me talking into a void. But Andy was so kind to join me so long as we talk about something of interest. And you said something very funny to me recently, which if I can pull up the receipts real quick, I want to make sure I get the quote right.
Oh no.
Hang on. Scrolling up a little bit more. Oh yeah, here we go. No, that's. Yeah, there it is. I'm humbly asking you to dip into your autism for me.
Autistic to autistic communication.
And then you said, what happens in Invincible? You and I engage in media radically differently. If I am being suggested something, I would like someone to tell me a basic synopsis of what the series is like, so that the specific moments I can still, like experience for myself. You don't do that.
Yeah, I like to be spoiled before I get into things because if something super, I know it takes away some of the impact, and I've gotten criticisms about this before, but if I go into something and it's like too much for my little brain in the way of like if I'm watching a show and something suddenly emotionally devastating happens, like it sets off something within me and I can't finish the show. So I have to know what I'm signing up for before I can fully commit to the bit.
I know this is true. Crown, I know you're one of the 3 people listening. So you're especially going to be upset by the fact that Andy here has never finished Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I can do it. He died and I got really sad. I can bring myself to, and then I found out that my wife dies and it's like, what's the fucking point?
Who, Nia?
Yes, I loved her.
Wait, how did you love her if you didn't even get to the episode where she appeared?
Because I watched clips of specifically her.
She is a cutie pie.
She is. When I was a kid and really into it, like I was really into her. Now that I'm an adult.
Do you know who voices her in English?
I do not.
You've seen Teen Titans, right?
Yes.
The voice of Starfire.
Thank God. If it was the voice of Raven, I was going to have to leave because every single person that has ever complimented me has compared me to Raven, and it makes me want to gouge out my eyes.
What's wrong with Raven?
There's nothing wrong with her as a character. It's just I don't really want to be associated with her like that.
I mean, that's fair. I was going to get a little upset if you were like, Raven sucks, I hate her, because, like...
Oh, no, she's cool as fuck. It's just, she's not...
I did an entire Cape Quarter episode where I modified Edgar Allan Poe's poem.
Oh my god.
The amount of work I put in for a goth icon was insane.
I mean, I don't doubt it at all. You loved Raven, but that was also, like, a problem. Not really. That's a joke, but...
I was gonna say, what?
No, it's just every single person that that has ever shown any form of interest in me, whether it's just platonic or romantic, they're like, growing up, Raven was my favorite character, and you remind me of her because I'm, like, a very small subsection of goth, and it's like, okay. Alright. It feels like they're singing typo negative at me.
Yeah. I guess this is okay. There's a disparity between how, like, I'm sorry to even, like, use these terms, but I don't even know how else to word it. But, like, I guess AMAB versus AFAB people are treated, where, like, one is going to receive compliments or comparisons to popular characters to a point of it being very annoying and frustrating, and another is like, I wish I had some of that. Because I'm definitely in the I wish somebody would compare me to a famous and beloved character, more often type of camp.
You know who you remind me of?
Who?
Jimmy Neutron.
Shut the fuck up.
Neutron? I can't... I'll see myself out. Goodbye.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Okay, let's actually start talking about Invincible.
I have issues and problems. I have demons.
Did you catch up to the latest episode?
Not quite. I'm a couple of episodes behind. I did get through the first episode of season 2, but I know that some fuck shit happens and it's going to kill me.
Hey, give me a second, because now I gotta pull up the episode list of Invincible to know what you have or have not seen.
Can I be honest with you? So my little guy affliction did not go away with time. I continuously fall in love with side characters that have no, like, major importance to the plot. Like, they have their own little thing going on, but they're not, like, main character. I fell in love with Donald.
The old guy? No, the guy with the glasses.
Yeah, Cecil's little guy.
Okay.
I was like, damn, he's just like me for real, because he's just a loser. And then when he was like at the kaiju area, and the kaiju like moved, and he like jumped in the karate stance, like that's what sealed the deal. I'm like, oh, you're such a loser. I love you. You are part of the family now.
Did you notice him in episode 1 of season 2?
I did. That was very confusing and upsetting.
Yeah, I was also very confused for a second, but that apparently is a plot point.
I'm terrified because it's already sad enough that, his last words were, "It was an honor, sir." That made me sob, because that is dead ass who he was as a person. Just so ready and willing to serve Cecil. He like looked up to Cecil and everything, and it's like, ooh.
Okay, I remember what happened in episode 1 now. So let's before we start talking more in depth about the different side characters and the ones that you cried over, let's
all of them.
let's synopsize the series a little bit. Invincible, first of all, one of my few times I can say something about the real world shit, which I say in every intro and I hardly ever actually do, is made by, I believe, Robert Kirkman, right? And he is the guy that makes the Walking Dead comics. That's right, we can blame him. Robert Kirkman, not Kirkland. Kirkman. I'm sorry. But, so
Robert, with all due love and respect, I want to smack you upside the head for making me cry as much as you did.
I want to smack him upside the head for making a shitty-ass zombie series. Well, okay, from what, okay, let me put this out there.
I can't really say that because I enjoyed it.
Well, you have bad taste. So,
we already established
it. Apparently, from what I hear, the comics actually aren't bad. So I shouldn't put the hatred of the TV shows on this man. But he did give them the idea. So I am watching you.
I mean...
Why?
Actually...
Just glasses.
Pull suspenders. Pushes
Anyway.
glasses up nose. Excuse me.
Okay, so he asked the brave question, hey, you know how everybody's like talking about Goku versus Superman? What if Superman was like Goku? Which is to say, what if he came from a race of planet conquerors? And thus the entire concept of Invincible was born. It's from the early to mid 2000s. It's a comic book made starting in the early to mid 2000s. You know what that means? Like everything else from that era, it's a deconstruction of the superhero genre because he asked
super edgy,
the extremely brave and original question. What if Superman was a bad guy, actually?
What if Superman was a bitch? And then he made Omni-Man. And then he gave him the fattest ass to the Viltrumite Empire.
Yeah.
Okay, real fucking talk though, dude. I'm not kidding. I started watching Invincible and dead ass, because like my friend Antonio was like really pressuring me to fucking watch it. So I was like, you know what? Fine. All right. I will do this for you, Antonio. I love you. Like that kind of bullshit. Not literally.
I hope.
But like, I made a joke to him about the Omni-Man Nicki Minaj photo.
Yeah.
And not even 2 hours later, I was on TikTok and I was scrolling. The third video in was that skateboard video of Omni-Man's fat ass. And I've been plagued by it ever since.
The one where the guy bails in midair, but he lands in a squat pose, and then it like smash cuts to Omni-Man.
Yes.
I hate that I knew which one you were talking about.
But get this, Ron was showing me a video that somebody made not too long ago of like Mortal Kombat or some shit because Omni-Man's in there now.
Yes, he is. He's in Mortal Kombat 1. I need to play it.
Somebody fucking modded his block to be Nicki Minaj. And he showed me that video, and I never wanted to eat cyanide tablets so bad. I just wanted to eat it and die.
I did very briefly see that someone modded that. They modded that within like his first like 30 hours of being in the game, I want you to know. Like it was fast. Okay, but yeah.
That just took away all my will to live.
So Omni-Man is he's an alien known as a Viltrumite from the planet Viltrum, because that's how words work. And they are an intergalactic empire that conquers other planets. He was sent to Earth to conquer it, and he was definitely planning on doing it, but then he fell for that sweet, sweet Earth pussy.
The Earth Hussy, if you will.
Yes. And he met Deborah Grayson, who's voiced by Sandra Oh. I should say the entire voice cast of this series is stacked as all hell. J.K. Simmons voices Omni-Man, which is very funny. After 20 years of being the guy who yells at superheroes, he is now a superhero that yells at other superheroes.
I mean, it's fitting. Oh my god, speaking of which, somebody modded J. Jonah Jameson over Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat. And so you could just fight as J. Jonah.
You told my wife! Thank you. I just want to hear that line in the game.
Bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Alright, so Omni-Man wound up marrying Debbie, and he took the identity of Nolan Grayson, and the two of them had a son, Mark Grayson, who apparently his full name is Marcus Sebastian Grayson.
Why is his middle name Sebastian? That kind of sucks.
Hey man, under the sea.
I was thinking more along the lines of like that shitty early 2000s band where it's like Sleeping with Sebastian.
Sure. Sorry, whenever I hear of Sebastian, I always think of the crab.
Honestly, that's not a bad choice, though.
It's terrible for me because I fucking hate that movie.
No, I know. Remember how I used to fucking sing Under the Sea and you would get so mad?
I repress those memories. Anyway.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
Okay, I'm sorry. We are really going off on a tangent here, but have you seen? There's a Game Grumps clip that fucking kills me, where it's them playing the Disney Princess game, and Sebastian says something,
yes,
and Aaron's just like, da-do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm sorry.
Oh my fucking god, it's terrible!
Just cuts himself off because he realizes it's racist.
Oh, I didn't even. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even register that as racist. Now I feel bad. Oh no.
You have a history with humor dipping its pinky toe into the waters of racism.
And I just like don't fucking register it. And it's like I feel so bad after I find out like years later, and like because we had this girl that went to my high school and she was Hispanic, and I'm not gonna say the word, but she decided to nickname herself even on her official soccer jersey, because you were allowed to pick nicknames since it was like a tiny school, was the Hispanic slang term beginning with the word B.
What, beaner?
You're not supposed to fucking say it.
Look, if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that the Mexican community, how do I word this, doesn't give nearly as much stock to mild levels of racism as we in white America do.
I mean, that's true.
They tend to make a lot of racially charged jokes at the Hispanic community, like members of different specific sort of countries, all tend to make very racially charged jokes at each other.
I mean,
depending on the person, obviously, they're not a fucking hive mind, and an individual is always going to take precedence. But for example, my friend Lou, he knows me, and he knows that like I'm not racist, which has opened the door for both of us to make constant racist jokes at each other.
Oh, good heavens.
And like one day I was like, does it bother you? Like I suddenly got awash with white guilt, and he was like, no, it's fine. Like you guys tend to put way more stock into that than we do, just because like, I mean, it's a lot more of a problem in America. I'm like, yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. I mean, it's a problem everywhere, but like especially here.
Oh yeah, we've somehow cultivated a culture of racism, especially in recent years. So it's something
It's
that
very
you and
like,
I are a lot more cognizant of, and a lot more on guard of, and a lot more worried about portraying ourselves as. But a lot of Mexican-born people are just like, nah, it's funny. Like when I worked at
like,
McDonald's, a lot of the staff there
mhm.
was from Mexico. A lot of them still only spoke Spanish, actually. Um, when I tell you I heard some shit.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, so speaking of races,
Huh?
one of the funniest things that I think has happened to me since moving here is the fact that, because like you already know, I am in the middle of Colombia. That is, it has a lot of white people, but like not as much as it was in upstate New York.
For anyone listening, I'm going to say not the country, because that
Yeah.
confused me at first, too.
So I have a lot of friends within the black community, and that's not like a humble brag or like I'm not racist because I have black friends. It's literally just a fact of the matter. But every single one of them has called me the N-word on multiple occasions. Like that is, it's become like their nickname for me, and I can't even say it. And they know that I won't, and that's part of the fucking joke, and it makes me so upset.
You have such a rich heritage. First you were white, then you were Asian, and now you're black.
Yeah, and then come to find out, like my dad is, like, my dad might be Puerto Rican.
Really
So
running the gambit here, aren't you?
I'm multicultural.
Oh my god, Miles Morales, is that you?
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you for that one.
All
Shut
right,
up.
let's get back to it. So, Mark, uh, which, by the way, again, uh, because we could always use a little bit more multiculturalism uh, in superhero media, is, I was gonna say half Asian, but like, I guess we quantify Omni Man as white. Like, he sure
I
looks white.
mean, yeah, he does definitely have the features of a Caucasian male.
Oh, all right, fine. I'm just
And
gonna
by
say
and
Marcus.
by that I mean he has like the dad stash and the dad hair. He literally looks like he's out of the Sears catalog. So I really think that he is categorized as a white guy, despite the fact coming to terms with it, he is in fact an alien.
I mean, it's the same way that, like, again, Superman is a fucking milk toast Wonder Bread white dude, and
Wasn't he
funnily enough,
raised in like Kentucky?
Kansas.
Oh my god! Man, jump out the window.
He's got that Kansas beef. Have you seen the new Superman show?
I have not.
They somehow managed to make him both twink and twunk in that show. Uh, it's extremely anime inspired. He has a magical girl transformation now.
He twink, he twink, he twunk.
Indeed. Um, Apparently, literally, their mandate for that show was make him as hot as possible in every frame.
I mean, It's one way to ensure views.
Well, they do it for both him and Lois. It's like make both of them hot.
Oh no, I'm not complaining. What I'm trying to say is that like we need to sexualize men more.
Yes, I agree. I'm firmly in the camp of getting to gender equality is not about sexualizing women less, it's about sexualizing men more and being fair.
You know what? Okay, I don't want to go into like a entirely different topic, but that's exactly what I'm about to do.
That's what this podcast is. We're used to it.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Maintain shine.
Thanks for proving you never listen, you fucking fake friend.
Asterion from Baldur's Gate 3.
Who's that again?
I want him. I want him carnally.
Who is this you're talking about?
The white-haired, like, very gay-coded man from Baldur's Gate 3.
Astarion. Okay. I thought you said Sarian or some shit. I was like,
no.
Who's that? Okay.
Sarian,
yeah, that makes sense.
Everything to me.
That definitely fits with your type.
I am a man.
Yeah.
I am a man who likes men.
Yeah, and he sure is. He sure is gay.
A man who is coded to like men.
Literally, like the first time you see him in the game, he's just like, "Ah, hello, darling," and you're just like, "Oh, gay."
Exactly. It's like, oh, I know what you are.
It's one of them Homo sapiens.
Please. I know what you are, and I'm just like you. So get over here.
Our daddy taught us.
I'm gonna beat you to death.
I thought of it, I couldn't even get it out. Okay. Focus up. So Mark has shut up. Mark is 17 years old. He's nearing the end of his high school career, and he has still never developed any superpowers, which he expected to have. And Omni-Man has actually been waiting for him to have superpowers, and he's just been living this chill life where he is Earth's strongest superhero. He is, I guess he like has books that he writes or something, and
yeah, he writes travel books.
Yeah, and Debbie is a real estate agent, and Mark is obviously going to school, and there's also the Guardians of the Globe, which is essentially the Justice League.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Even though he had such little screen time, which still upsets me to this day, Darkwing was like my everything.
He's Batman, so yes, he's cool.
I know, but like, I don't know. It's just, once again, I fell for the little guy side character where it's like, oh, I like him. And then that happens, and it's like, ooh, I could kill myself.
What's very cool is that now with Invincible Season 2, we actually got to see a previous iteration of Guardians of the Globe. And I didn't realize that Green Ghost is a mantle, it's a legacy mantle, in that the Green Ghost in the older iteration of the team was a guy, and clearly a different person became the Green Ghost because it's a lady in episode 1 of Invincible, and they make a lot of these heroes, but some of them die so fast that we know next to nothing about them or about how their powers work. So I guess they have a pill that they swallow that turns them into the Green Ghost. How do they change back?
I thought it was a gem.
It's something. It's some green lump of something that she literally puts in her mouth, and then the next frame we see she's flying out of the building as Green Ghost. So
I think it makes her intangible because she could go through like walls and stuff.
yes,
But
I gathered that much. She's basically Kitty Pryde because Shadowcat from the X-Men
yeah,
also figured out how to use her ability to become intangible to also fly. So it's the same moveset. But yeah, so I guess they can just pass on that lump of whatever, the gem or the pill or whatever, to another person. Um, it's sort of like a combination of Star Sapphire and Hour Man in that way. Star Sapphire got her powers from having some sort of space diamond um, embedded in her body, and Hour Man would take a pill ingested orally to have superpowers for 1 hour.
imagine if you had to take it anally.
Yeah, I'm sure that it wouldn't be as, I don't know. Superhero comics get weird. Pink
I mean,
kryptonite makes Superman gay.
and I also remember Asbestos Man. It's hard to forget Asbestos Man.
We will always remember press F to pay respects.
And then Matter Eater Lad.
I can't. I had
like
a huge running joke at the start of this podcast of me constantly bringing up Matter Eater Lad and acting like I had beef with him.
Oh my god. Fuck
Because
you, Matter Eater Lad.
it's so funny because I was literally like, on this podcast we're going to talk about all sorts of superheroes, Green Lantern and Spider-Man and Matter Eater Lad. Oh, don't worry, we'll get to him. But yeah, so the Guardians of the Globe, we got the Immortal, which again is like if Vandal Savage was a good guy, which I can't even hate. That's honestly an awesome concept. He was Abraham Lincoln.
That fucked me up so much because at first I was like, there's no fucking way they made this superhero John Wilkes Booth. And then I looked closer and it's like, wait, oh my god, no, he's Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. That's so fucking
Why the
funny.
fuck was he a president?
I mean, why not? You're alive for thousands of years. Might as well be a president, free the slaves.
I mean, that's a shit way to die, though. You're just watching a movie. Well, not even a movie, it was a play.
And he's like, oh, okay, I guess I need to be someone else now. That sucks.
Well, I mean, ultimately speaking, though, I guess I would rather die watching a play than before I got to the play.
I mean, at least you got to see part of what the hype was about.
And that's true, but I would be pissed off for the next 1,000 years because I missed the ending.
Okay, so it was Immortal, Darkwing, the fucking fish, Red Brush. I don't know the fish's name. I'm sorry. He's clearly supposed to be Aquaman, but he's not a guy that can talk to fish. He is a bipedal fish. Red
Wasn't
Brush,
it like Aquaro or some shit?
some shit like that. War Woman, and who am I forgetting? Oh, Martian Man. That's right.
Yeah.
So it was those 7, and then Omni-Man wasn't a member of their team. Technically, he was like a reserve member, essentially, that when they needed help, they would call him in. And then the day comes where Mark gets his superpowers, and Omni-Man goes, oh, well, now there's 2 Viltrumites on this planet. We could totally conquer it. All right, I'm head out, and then he goes and he summons the Guardians of the Globe to their secret base and fucking murders them all. gruesomely, graphically. It's like after, not really like after the credits, but it's like after the end slate, so where a lot of people would think the episode was over, um, and it just keeps going, and it's like a 5 minute long fight scene, and
Yeah.
like they put up a fight. It's not a complete wash. In fact, he's left fairly close to death by the end of it. He falls into a light coma, actually.
I have
Um,
to be honest, Red Rush's death is the one that got me the most. I mean, obviously Darkwing's also really fucked me, but um I don't know, just the fact that they had the conversation between him and his wife, fiance or something, where he's like every moment is like torture, and just knowing that it took Omni-Man a considerable amount of time to do what he did. Like, yeah.
yeah, that's fucked up now that I think about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they actually put the scene in slow motion to kind of convey that.
Yeah,
And
they
just the
did
fact
because
that,
we see him speed punching and it's in slow motion.
yeah, and so I guess it shows just how long for him it was.
Yeah.
But
Um,
it also, another thing that like really upset me was the part where he was like breaking his hands against Omni-Man.
yeah.
Man, this show hurt me so bad.
Uh, you said that you know that Omni-Man is in Mortal Kombat. Did you know that the Red Rush kill is one of his fatalities?
Oh, I hate that.
Can you guess what the other fatality is? Like, what's the other really iconic and fucked up and traumatizing thing that he does? Um, it's not the
Hey,
think Hulk
Mark.
thing. No,
Oh,
that's his X-ray attack. Um,
oh, that's even worse.
uh, no, the fatality, the thing that isn't just him doing a ground and pound, but him actively murdering someone.
Is it the Darkwing thing?
No. What do you know the one thing that fucked me up? I probably told you about it when I first watched the show.
Was it the subway?
It's the subway, baby!
Ah. Ah, yeah, yeah,
He
no.
flies Raiden or Liu Kang or whoever he's fighting to the subway and holds the back of their head up. Oh. That one that one just like left me in stunned silence for like a few hours after I saw it. I was just like, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little bit nauseous the first time I saw it. And you know me, like I grew up in the early days of the internet with unfiltered access to all things. So like a lot of teenagers from our time, uh I saw like live leaks. I saw documenting reality, like all of these really graphic sites with real victims displayed on them, and that's really upsetting looking back. But when you're a teenager, you don't really have that level of empathy to like fully recognize it. Plus, you
Yeah,
know, being desensitized to things, blah blah blah, it happens.
I definitely
um
think the chemistry of my brain was changed when I saw the Bjorn stalker kill himself on camera.
oh, I remember that. That was horrifying.
Hmm.
But that scene, even though it was animated, made me feel nauseous. Like
Oh,
I really wanted to just like stop watching there, but I was like, no, because it does get better. I mean, it gets worse, but better.
well, because that's sort of like the point of the series. They lay it out for you. I wouldn't say that the end of episode one it sets up the mandate for the series because it's still a battle between not just superhumans but the best superhumans on the planet, right? So
Yeah.
it's gruesome and it's brutal, but everyone still feels like they know what they're doing. Because the series mandate is really to make you feel how horrified and powerless a superhuman in this society would feel. Because episode 2 really does that when Invincible is trying to save a single elderly woman and he gets shot in midair and he falls and tumbles. And of course, it's just a tumble for him, but it was a mortal elderly lady in his arms and all of her limbs are fucked up and shit. And when I saw that, I was just like, oh no, okay, that's what this show is.
Yeah, that also really fucked me up because he was like,
he was having a panic attack. He was freaking the fuck out because he didn't know what to do. Like, you could see he was on the verge of tears.
And then the fact that he kept checking up on her.
Yeah.
And, like, you could tell that he is a good person. He just,
I would say, see, I wouldn't even call this series edgy. Like, I would call a lot of these deconstruction type series edgy, right? I think that's a perfect descriptor for a lot of them. I don't think that this is edgy. I think the word I would use is visceral.
Well, I mean, the animated TV show is definitely better at, like, portraying that. It's the,
Oh, the comics are edgy. Yes.
Yeah, I hate the comics. The way that the guy fails to write women in, like, a believable and empathetic way is insane to me. Like, I really think he has an issue with women because, I mean, then again, look at how the women in The Walking Dead were written.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a running trend here.
Because again, it was the early 2000s of comic books was full of way too much misogyny, like a very uncomfortable level of misogyny. Kick-Ass was another one from that era where,
oh, good heavens,
if you just watch the movie, you're like, haha, funny man with jetpack go brr. But if you start reading the comics, you're like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Yeah.
And I try to describe it this way to everyone. Like, the 90s and the 2000s were part of what's known as the Bronze Age of comics, but the Bronze Age itself has, like, two sort of subsets. You have the 90s subset, where their form of edginess was, let's add 1 million bandoliers and belts and pouches to this guy. We're going to give Spider-Man a cyborg arm and a cool Rambo-style bandana. We're going to have Deathstroke and Deadpool. Like, that's the 90s flavor of edginess. And then the 2000s flavor of edginess was, Magneto's children, Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, two of the most iconic superheroes / villains in comics, brother and sister. Yeah, they're fucking now.
Yeah.
They really went, this isn't your daddy's or granddaddy's superheroes. What are the youth into these days? I know, incest. Yeah, the Ultimate Series.
Kill myself for real.
The Ultimate Series of comics was, it was an interesting thought experiment, but not everything panned out very well. Like, there are good points. I think it's really cool that Spider-Man was briefly in a relationship with Kitty Pryde. I think they were very cute together. And I also think it is weirdly morally responsible of Black Cat that, because this version of Peter Parker, when he meets Black Cat, is still a high schooler, not a grown man like the original version, as soon as she finds out that he's a high schooler, she freaks out that she was accidentally committing pedophilia, and she vomits on his crotch and then leaves. Kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's very fitting, because I'm not going to lie, if I found that shit out, I would have a very similar reaction, if not just straight up kill myself.
Yeah, but then you have shit like Captain America, one of the most unassailably good-natured people in all of media, is just like a racist boomer in the Ultimate Comics. Like, just a really bad person. And I'm like, what? Why? Why did we have to do that? I get that a lot of people from the 40s aren't exactly like the most progressive idealists these days, but like, it's Captain fucking America. To have him talking about how he thinks the Chinese should go back to their country or whatever is weird, man. It's weird. You're weird for that.
It is. I don't understand though. Like I really don't get. Well, I do understand, but not really.
It doesn't
Why?
help. That
Why
was the
be so
version.
inflammatory?
That was the version I knew growing up. I didn't know the actual Captain America when I was a kid because he
No,
just
I
seemed
mean,
like a,
like, why did they have to write such inflammatory things? Essentially, like, why? I don't know.
because okay, so if we're talking on a serious note, decades of being censored and essentially neutered by the Comics Code Authority meant that comic book writers were chomping at the bit to get to say inflammatory stuff because that if it was left naturally, if it was left up to their discretion, I'm sure you would see some provocative stuff peppered into these comics once in a blue moon, just like naturally, because that's how good storytelling works. You do occasionally want to throw in something as a curve or a twist to make things a little bit more interesting or relatable or realistic or whatever, right? But they were banned from doing anything remotely distressing to children for so many years that the second mandates were lifted, they had their Vegas night essentially where they're like, I'm going to be the worst scum of a human being for the next 24 hours. And then they woke up the next morning and were like, oh, we made some bad decisions. Oops, we
Oh, we
accidentally
made
created
an
the Ultimates
oopsie.
comics. I genuinely think that that was a big part of why the Bronze Age manifested in the way it did, because specifically the Silver Age of comics, the Joker wasn't allowed to carry a gun. Um, Blade wasn't allowed to fight vampires. You heard me right. Vampire Hunter Blade was not allowed to fight vampires, and the Silver Age, it was the impetus for DC Comics having 3 different gorilla-themed superheroes, because there was some loophole where gorillas were completely untouchable by the Comics Code Authority, so they just kept making more gorilla-themed supervillains. They made Gorilla Grodd, Ultra Humanite, and Monsieur Mala. So I think that that was what it was.
Oh my god.
Did you know that there's 3 different Gorilla Boys?
I mean, I knew that there was a whole bunch of like gorilla themed things, but I didn't know why.
Yeah, it's because it, for whatever reason, gorillas were one of like the completely okay. Like you could do whatever you wanted in comics as long as a gorilla was involved. um, which is why there's a very funny comic book cover of Jimmy Olsen, Superman's best pal, where Superman seems to be forcing Jimmy to get married to a gorilla.
Oh my god.
That's it. If you ever want to laugh at Golden Age and Silver Age comics, look up Superman's best pal, Jimmy Olsen, because every comic cover is designed to make you think that Superman is being an asshole and to make you wonder, how did we get here? Why is this happening? So then you have to read the comic. Like there's one where they're in a desert and Jimmy is on his hands and knees crawling and he's reaching up. He's like, Superman, please, I'm so thirsty. And Superman is standing on top of a sand dune and he's holding a pitcher of water and he's just like, you gotta work for it, Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay, Invincible, that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
So,
Sorry.
Mark gets his powers and he decides to start going by the name Invincible. I was making a joke based around the title.
Yeah.
So I do think it's really cool what they do with the title card, by the way. Like, first of all, yes, it's extremely memeable that every time someone goes to say Invincible, it just cuts them off and shows the title card. But what I like is that the title card gets bloodier every episode, um, until by
Yeah.
the end of season one, the title card has gone from blue and yellow, Invincible's color scheme, to red and black because it's just completely covered in blood. Um, what's interesting, I don't know if okay, so I think the title card just cracked in episode one of season two, right? Like it didn't show anything beyond that.
Yeah, I can't really remember the opening of it. I'm not gonna lie, my
So,
brain is very small.
well, they also trolled the shit out of us because they knew that we made a meme about everyone like getting cut off in the Invincible title card coming up. So in episode one of season two, people kept being like, "I guess you really are," and then there's a pause, and then they go, "Invincible." and they just keep going because they knew that every time
I
we'd be
do
like,
remember that.
they do it like 5 times in the episode. It's so fucking infuriating because it got me every time. But the title card for season two, it seems to be that the red and black title card is cracking and breaking and falling away, and it looks like there's a blue and black one beneath, um, which is interesting because I do know that Invincible has a second costume, which is a blue and black costume.
Ooh.
So maybe they're setting up that he'll wear that in season three. That's neat. I think shit like that is neat. Graphic design is my passion.
Oh my god.
Um,
I mean, to be completely please.
it's not. It's not my passion. I'm not good at it. Um,
Felt.
but uh, yeah. Okay. So Omni Man's in a coma. So when the the GDA, which the Global Defense Agency, that's what they are. They come in
Duh.
to see what the they come in to see what's up, and they're like, clearly all 8 of them were attacked by some ninth entity, and Omni Man is the only survivor. That and Immortal's decapitated head. You know, they have to revive him, but he'll. I mean, it's kind of in the name. He'll be all right. Um, so they just assume Omni Man wasn't the one who did it, which gives him more time to make some devious machinations once he wakes up from his coma. Mark decides to start being invincible. He winds up meeting up with the team, which is Adam Eve, which is a character I wasn't sure I would like because you and I both suffer with Sakura syndrome. Oh, great. Main girl, pink, probably gonna hate her.
I really like Adam Eve. Um, I think she's really interesting and cool.
She is. I definitely appreciate her. I she aligns a lot with uh my ideologies of like, hey, you know, if you have the power to literally change and reshape the world, maybe you should like get into philanthropy and making things better for everyone. So I really appreciate the shit out of her for doing that and being like, hey, I have the power to rewrite things on the atomic scale. Maybe I should stop using it to punch bad guys in the face really hard because everybody can do that. Maybe I should like make clean drinking water in Africa and stuff. So
I
she's
do
cool.
appreciate that.
Yeah. And the Adam Eve special that I did watch um, made me
Oh my god,
feel
pain.
made me feel for her a lot. Also, her parents suck. I know I'm not treading any new ground with that statement, but fuck, I hate her dad. I'm not a fan
Yeah,
of her mom either. Her
I
mom,
feel like I feel like her mom is
a doormat.
Yeah, I feel like she deserves better than her husband because she always did try to be there for Eve and then like also defended her basically every time, which says a lot. Like she actually stood up against her husband and was like, because remember when he called her like a freak?
Yeah, that's like one of maybe two times I can remember her actively standing up to him. That's kind of why I'm like, I don't have the same hatred of her as I do the husband, but it is kind of one of those things where it's like she's trying to be Switzerland, right? She's trying to be like sort of the peacemaker or the neutral party, but it's like, well, if you're trying to be a neutral party between a bad person and a good person, but the bad person has all of the power and authority over the good person, you're sort of assisting the badness now, aren't you? You're,
Yeah, but he kind of reads as like an abusive person.
I know it's clearly a complicated situation there, but it, I can't say that I consider either one of them an especially good parent, regardless of what the circumstances
Oh
is,
no,
because
they're not. Like
the
they
end
would have
result
been
is still
perfect
how she
parents.
is treated.
Yeah, like they would have been perfect parents if Eve wasn't their daughter.
I'm not sure that's true either, but that's a discussion for another day.
Well, no, because like think about it. When she started displaying like signs that she wasn't, well, I mean, she's actually a really good
Autism metaphor.
yeah.
That's why I was saying, even if they had their original daughter who wasn't superpowered, if she didn't fit in with the mold, which is to say, any kind of normal human being, she would have her individuality repressed, which I don't think is a good parenting tactic.
Well, I don't, that's a good point. But then again, I'm thinking along the lines of like I
He wouldn't be as Buck Wild because she wouldn't have been a superhero.
yeah, that and like a lot of her behaviors wouldn't have been like that, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I do, since we brought it up, or you brought it up, I do want to say, as an autistic person, I really appreciate that they gave fucking normies um, a good way to visualize the progression of autistic people because as a child, she wasn't extremely verbal. She was clearly hyper fixated on whatever her interest was. But by the time you hit high school, she is considered popular enough that Will is geeking out over the possibility of his straight best friend getting a date with Eve Wilkins. So it is clearly one of those things where it's like, give them time, they'll learn how to socialize. like, like sometimes, again, spectrum disorder. I can't speak for everyone, but like, I know there's a certain stigma with autistic people where people expect them to be quote unquote childlike into adulthood. And it's like, that's a very skewed perception of what childlike is if you feel that people who are able to still be passionate and genuine about things are childlike. It's pretty fucked up that you think adult like means that you have to be jaded and hateful all the time.
Well, not
Because
only that, but like I'm also speaking as somebody with autism. People tend to like woobify people with autism. Like they tend to be like they assume that we have like a handicap.
yeah,
That we're like dumb and it's like that's not at all the case. Like some of us who are on the lower functioning side of the spectrum, which is not a negative thing at all. It's just something that happens. And by like lower functioning, I mean more so like they have issues socializing with people and being verbal. They're still smart. They can still comprehend things. They are not by any means dumb. And this actually just kind of happened today. I had a friend of a friend essentially try to dumb me down to a child. And it's like, no, I am not a child. I'm an adult. I just have issues socializing and hyperfixating on things. That's not exactly super abnormal.
It's very disrespectful. And yeah, especially in the culture of so many people that are now adults that were raised with the internet. Like, social anxiety is at an all-time high, baby. You're used to this. But as soon as
Exactly.
it's, oh, they have social anxiety because they're autistic, it's just, oh, look at it. Like, what the fuck changed? What changed there, honestly? Tell me. Explain it to me. Go into your thought process, buddy boy. All right. So Eve is cool. I really like Adam and Eve. Now, on the other side of things, you know who I fucking hate?
Who?
I mean, it's going to be obvious. You know me. You know the shit that I can't stand. Another member of the
Is it Rex?
team, it's Rex. Of course it's Rex. Why would it be
I knew it.
anything but Rex? I can't fucking stand this shit heel. Like, he's clearly designed where you're not supposed to like him. So, like, that part is obvious. But, boy, do I just fucking hate this dude. Like, they were effective.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I am not a fan of him either, but I do feel really bad for him because he is getting fucked over at every turn. Like he
But
cheated
he
on Eve because
deserves.
he assumed. Well, like he cheated on Eve because he assumed that she was cheating on him with Mark.
Which he could have
Stupid, but
asked her about.
yeah, but I mean, it kind of feels and sounds like he comes from a not so great family background.
I'm
And then like
sure.
as time goes on, he's just consistently getting fucked over. Because, like, look what Robot did to him.
Personally, of the opinion that if you are constantly prancing around and running ahead of people, and then when you step on a landmine, that you're not really in good taste to be like, this is your fault for not holding me back. Like, a lot of times, yeah, he does get fucked over, and he gets fucked over not as an active thing, and then his reaction is to be a dickhead. He gets fucked over as a reaction to him first actively being a dickhead. Like, Monster Girl beating the dog shit out of him was in
Oh,
direct
I fully
response to
support
him
that.
being a shit heel. Like, pretty much again, the whole him breaking up with Eve, him cheating on her, is a response to his own insecurity and then him not communicating his insecurity with her. She is not in the wrong for having a friend who is a guy that she sometimes travels with. Like, you could say maybe she could have been more attentive of the fact that he was having an inferiority complex and she could have said something to him. But really, if he's got a problem, the onus should be on him to say, hey, this is my issue. Are you cheating on me? And he didn't do that. Now, again, granted, they're teenagers, so it's not realistic for them to be that emotionally mature. It is realistic for them to be dickheads that are making life harder for themselves, and that is the case that he is in. But,
Yeah.
like, if the normal teenager being a dickhead, making life harder for themselves and the people around them is like at a 7, he's at a 10.
Yeah.
It's just
Like,
really hard for me to like him.
I don't blame you. I'm not gonna lie, even though I feel bad for him, I also don't like him. I'm just saying, like, he's really written as a character that I really feel like, because I haven't fully read the comics, I've only, like, read little bits and pieces of them, because just the source material for the show is too much for me.
Yeah.
Like, Oh, I feel so bad for him. I don't like him at all. I think he is a terrible person, but he definitely doesn't deserve everything that he gets. I feel like people should kind of have a little bit of empathy, which is ironic because he doesn't really have a whole lot of it.
I'm maybe it's a weakness on my character, but I tend to be more resistant to empathizing with people who are making zero effort themselves to empathize with others or earn forgiveness of any kind. I'm like, I can't just completely go to you. You gotta at least step out a little bit. Like, we don't have to meet halfway, especially if you're that fucked up, but we gotta meet partway. And if you're someone that is very seemingly comfortable in remaining in your role, even if you're sad in that role, if I'm never seeing anything from you to suggest that you might change or want to change, then it's going to be hard for me to open up to you. Bakugo is my favorite fucking character in My Hero Academia, and you know what? I didn't like him either until I
I do
started
remember that.
until I started seeing signs that like he might be open to changing himself. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is fucking great! I'm ready for this." And now we're at a point where I actually cried when he reappeared in comics after 1 year of absence. Not comics, manga, but you know what I mean. Um, uh, yeah. So, okay, other characters. Robot. Robot is very. Uh, he's very funny, and then also tragic, as it turns out, because at first you think he is literally a robot.
Yeah.
And then you find out that the robot is actually remotely controlled by a dude who was born with very severe birth defects, and he has to stay inside of a life support tube. And he is a genius because, I mean, it totally makes sense. You can't move or eat for yourself or anything. You're just stuck there. What are you going to do all day when you can't do anything? Well, you read, of course. So you become a super genius. And so he figured out how to make these like remote controlled, remote piloted robots to act as a superhero. Um, Now, he does get a bittersweet character transition where he finds the Mauler twins, which, can I say, the Mauler twins are some of my favorite supervillain characters.
Yeah, they are definitely unique, and I love that.
They're not actually twins. There is one big blue boy who's very strong and intelligent, and he cloned himself. And because you have to clone your memories and experiences as well, you download the data in your brain to the new clone body. They both think they're the original, and they're constantly bickering over who's the clone.
Meanwhile, they're like both clones.
Probably at this point, yes. Because anytime one of them dies, they just make another. um, so it is actually impossible to tell at this point if the original is still alive or not.
I really don't think he is.
Well, I could tell you in season 2 he's definitely not anymore.
Please!
One way or another, oops, all clones now.
Oh my god.
So, Rudy is Robot's real name, Rudolph. He manages to enlist the help of the Mauler twins. They take his DNA, they remove all of the damaged sequences that caused the birth defects, and they have to fill in the gaps with something. So he sneakily takes Rex's DNA and uses his DNA to fill in the gaps. And they basically make a child-aged clone or a half clone of Rex, and they then transfer Rudy's consciousness. Well, they copy Rudy's consciousness into it, and they don't have the issue of figuring out which one is the clone. It's pretty obvious. And as soon as new Rudy clone is brought into the world, the old one asks to be essentially taken off life support because he does not want to continue living in this deformed state, and he wanted a version of himself to get out there and experience the world, even though he knew he could never be that version. It's very tragic.
Yeah.
It's clearly based on Ben Reilly, and here I go. I'm gonna make this complaint again. Look, I fucking love Ben Reilly, and they did my boy so dirty in the new Spider-Verse movie. I know it was haha funny joke that he was the prototypical ugh, my pain from the 90s comics. I get it, but that's not what he was like. Come on. I don't even know. Did you see the new Spider-Verse movie?
I have not.
Andy Samberg voices him, and his entire shtick is that he's like Sasuke-ified or whatever. He's just like leaning against a wall. He's like, oh, I'm remembering my past. Ooh, that was a particularly painful memory.
Me.
And I saw it in the theaters, and I saw it with Gene, and Gene was like, oh, this is so fucking funny. And I'm just like, my boy, what have they done to my boy?
Look at how they've massacred my boy.
Duplicate. She's someone that I want to like.
I do like her because I have respect for her because she dead ass apologized to Eve and was like, hey man, I didn't know, and then straight up like pieced out after she found out.
She straight up admits that Rex lied to her and told her that Eve was okay with this, like some kinky shit. So she didn't know.
Oh no, she's Rex told her that like Eve broke up with him.
Oh, is that what
and
it
was dating
okay.
Mark. Yeah.
To be fair, it's been like over a year since I watched all of the episodes of season 1 without them being a reaction video.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm just filling in the gaps. It's not
my
like
autism only goes so far. But yeah,
I have supplementary autism.
Thanks, appreciate it, homie. No, it's something happens in season 2 where I'm just kind of like, there's starting to be a pattern of behavior that I'm not. I don't know about you, Kate. I don't know.
Yeah, she's not exactly the greatest person ever.
No.
But then again, she's kind of got a lot going on.
Was that? So that was the whole team. It was those 4, and Invincible winds up joining. But later on, they're like, hey, we need new Guardians of the Globe. And Rex and Duplicate and Robot actually wind up becoming 3 of the new members. Eve doesn't. Not because she flunked out. She's one of the most powerful heroes, but she just wasn't really about it. She didn't want to be on the same team as Rex anymore. That's really what it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Rex and.
Yeah. So other members that they got for the new iteration of the Guardians of the Globe included Shrinking Ray, which great pun. I know next to nothing about her. She seems fine. Now there is Monster Girl, who okay, we're gonna have this discussion. I see people being like, "Oh, writers barely disguise fetish or whatever," and it's just like, there are people with like conditions that, again, like autism, where people see us as more childlike, or like Benjamin Button syndrome is a real thing where people look way younger than they really are. Or it could even be like a number of other situations where people, maybe some people are just petite, some people are whatever, but there is this like, what's the word I'm looking for, where it's a way that people act that's fucked up. Um, it's not
I'm
coming.
not sure, but
A stigma.
in my
There.
opinion,
Mhm.
in my honest opinion, I don't think she was written in like a fetishistic sort of way because I haven't perceived her once as being portrayed as like sexually attractive. Like her story is very reflective of like the struggle of, even though I'm an adult woman, I am treated like a child and viewed as a
Yeah,
child.
that's what
And
I'm getting.
so,
Yeah, I was
okay,
saying that
you were wording
there's
it like
this.
very bad.
No, like, listen, you gotta let me cook. Let me finish my thought. Like, there's a stigma of people who are perceived by the general populace as childlike, and then they're treated a certain type of way because of it. And even in the series, um, the talk of like her being an adult woman with adult woman interests, adult woman needs, but she is mistreated because of her appearance specifically is brought up. She even says like one of the things that frustrates her is that she can't have a sex life anymore because the only people who are interested in her are a problem. And that sort of, there is a real world analog to that where there's a lot of times where um, like there'll be a petite woman and they get harassment because people will be like, "Oh, you're fetish bait for people," and the woman has to be like, "I can't help the way my body is. I'm sorry if that upsets you, but like I am an adult. I would appreciate being treated as an adult."
Yeah,
And for whatever reason, there's like a people just can't do that. Um, yeah, there is a deep thing where appearances mean a lot to us, and for whatever reason, some people take appearance over actual individuality. And she has a very tragic story that's very rooted in that. And in fact, the entire reason why Robot Rudy specifically chose to make a child-aged version of Rex as a body to inhabit um, is, well, for one, she like glanced over at Rex once to signify that she maybe thought that he was attractive in a physical sense. Um, but then the other is that he was like, I thought you would be lonely if you were the only child aged person on the team. So I specifically went out of my way to make it so that I would be a similar quote unquote age to you. Um, we still didn't actually say what her power is. So she turns into an ogre voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, which is very funny. Like,
now that I'm actually like thinking about her as a character, she might be a very well written uh example of like DID.
yeah.
Well, maybe not well written. There's a lot of like not so savory stereotypes, but
Well, it feels like she can be a lot of things. She can also be like a trans allegory because when like she's obviously comfortable being a girl, but when she's heroing, there's no titties. It is all pecs. She's got the deep booming Kevin Michael Richardson voice. There's probably like some body dysphoria going on with the fact that she turns into for all intents and purposes, a male monster. I feel like there's a lot of very interesting stuff with her character that you can delve into psychologically, that I will leave to people that are smarter than me to do that, because it feels like that there might be
not
too
good,
much.
more so like I'm in agreement with you because I am too stupid for this conversation.
I am an aspiring I have an aspiring interest and hobbyist level of like psychology. I'm not a professional, so I will leave that to people better than me. But I do think it's interesting. I think it's really cool. I think she's a really cool character. But yeah, she to be clear, she is like a 24-year-old woman, but every time she transforms into her monster form, when she turns back into human form, it makes her younger. So if she's not careful with how often she utilizes her transformation, she could wind up de-aging herself to death. So it's a good limitation on your powers. One of the big things with superhero media, you gotta write characters with a certain level of balance to the scale that you want them to scale at. They wanted her to scale like she could be the heavy hitter of the team, but she shouldn't always be used. So that was a great way to do it.
Yeah.
It might be like, I already transformed today, I shouldn't transform again, type of thing. That's good writing. I appreciate that. Black Samson. He's very neat. He's voiced by Carrie Payton, which is always a win for me. He's the guy that voiced Cyborg, if you don't know. He does a lot of voice acting work these days. He's really good. But he had a great introduction for me because, again, I think Rex is such a shit, and he snarkily called Samson dad, and he was just like, I don't know you like that, so I'm going to assume that you're just playing around a little bit, and that I don't need to whoop your ass so bad that you never even think to call me dad again. He just immediately shut him up, which was great. And that's it for the season 1 new roster of Guardians of the Globe. There'll be a couple more later, but I'll let you get to that. And then we already mentioned Donald and Cecil from the GDA. They're the suits. They're the government. They're the Shield. They're the Nick Fury. Cecil is the Nick Fury. They're pretty cool. I like them. They seem highly competent for a government task force agency set in a superhero world. They know to step back and let superhumans deal with shit a lot of times, but they're always trying to make countermeasures for said superhumans. You referenced the kaiju before. There was a kaiju that Omni-Man fought, and it could actually hurt him. And the second that it was dead and Omni-Man flew away, Cecil was like, get out there, study that kaiju. Just in case. Like, he has a healthy level of paranoia. Sometimes. Sometimes it is an unhealthy level. Let's talk about the character that I was fully expecting there to be a big fucking thing about. Amber.
Oh?
Let's talk Amber.
I liked Amber. I completely get it. Because, I mean, like, he was lying to her the entire time. And she's not stupid. I mean, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
He's not exactly, like, super secretive about being a superhero.
Oh, guys, I gotta run this way to get help. Skitter. Look, Invincible's here. Yeah. Mark, Mark has a little bit of like himbo golden retriever energy to him, not completely, but like it's in there, and that's one of the ways it manifests. Where it's like, hey, come on, man.
But at the same time, I feel like he wasn't serious about Amber. Like he thought
Well,
he was, but he wasn't really.
yeah, I mean, from the start of their relationship, he was first interested in Eve, and it's just that Amber asked him out, and so he was like, "Yeah, sure, okay," and he agreed to it after he saw that Eve was in a relationship with someone. So
Which is really not cool.
yeah, um, so anybody who knows of this show and knows of the existence of Amber as a character has probably heard all the discourse around her. People, and by people I mean typically men, fucking hate her. They talk about she's the worst character, she's the worst written character, she's annoying, and she makes no fucking sense. People have been like, I hope she dies. Like, it's the vitriol over this fucking character um, is astounding.
Insane.
Not, yeah, it's not in a good way. And it's I have gone on rants about why Amber is good, actually, multiple times on this podcast. So it's very cathartic to hear you come in and be like, "Yeah, I liked her. Her motivation made sense. I get it."
Well, because she
Fucking
gave him so many fucking chances to tell the truth. Like, especially the college scene is what got me. Because she dead ass was like, okay, so you're really gonna make me sit here and think that you're a terrible fucking person instead of just telling me the truth?
yeah. So again, for anyone who is like, I don't understand why are you guys okay with what she did? Here's the deal. There seems to be a misunderstanding of character motivation. There are some people that boil down her motivation to she is mad that he is being invincible and not spending time with her because he's saving the world. And they're like, well, that's fucking stupid because, I mean, if he didn't save the world, she wouldn't be alive to live in it. And, yeah, what, is he supposed to let other people die just so he can help in her super soup kitchen? She's so selfish and dumb. Yeah, that would be selfish and dumb. If that was the issue, it's not. In fact, I hope all of you who spent a year talking about how much Amber sucks are eating your fucking shoe now, because in season 2 she specifically encourages him to go be invincible. Um, so suck my fat cock, you absolute fucking neckbeard losers. That was never the problem. The problem was that he lied about it. I understand they're high schoolers, they don't always make the best decisions, and they've not been dating for super long. It's not like they've been married for 30 years and he's been keeping a secret of half his life from her. But at the same time, if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, you should be a certain amount of open with them. And she even understood, like, I get it, it's part of the superhero shtick to like keep someone in the dark for a while, but I would have hoped that you would have let me know by now. And that's the real thing. She's being lied to, and it's making her feel unimportant in his life. She is a side accessory, not a main focal point character in his life. His best friend knows that he's invincible. Again, that wasn't necessarily his choice, but that's still out there. Eve, like, again, she is a superhero, but she is still a friend in his day to day life that knows he's invincible. Amber was one of the last people that he told. Um, and it was making her feel small and shitty. And yeah, she was upset about it. She has a right to be upset about it. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're in a relationship, typically you like to spend time with the person you're in a relationship with, and if they can't spend time with you, you'd like to know the real reason of why. so that you can like accept and understand, what's happening. You want to have a say in it. Be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Go ahead, do what you have to do, and and even if the person you're with is a good person, that them being a good person in general doesn't absolve them of being kind of a crappy partner to you, and you are still allowed to be upset. And that's where she is. She knows he's doing the right thing. She knows he has to do this, but the way he's going about treating her while he's doing it makes her feel bad. And she should not be forced to stay in a relationship with someone that is actively making her feel bad. That's the issue. I don't understand why that was so hard for people to understand.
Whoever talks shit about Amber, I'm coming to your house. I'm gonna hurt you.
Agreed. And again, like what I appreciate is that they seem the creative team behind the show seem to be like, oh, you thought that was Amber's problem, all right? Okay, bet. We're gonna specifically
Since you're so
write
stupid,
her.
let me spell it out for you.
We're gonna specifically write her in season 2 to show you that you're a fucking idiot and you didn't know anything about her goddamn character. And I promise you, it's still not going to click for some of these neckbeards. They're going to think that, oh, she's undergone a dramatic character 180. She doesn't even feel like the same character. Because, Nostalgia Critic ruined an entire generation's ability to analyze media. Fight me.
Yeah.
Okay, so a brief overview of stuff that actually happens in the series. Invincible sure does get beat up a lot. You know who I'm excited to see more of? Probably the character that brutalized Invincible the hardest outside of Omni-Man. You know
Who's
who
that?
I speak of? Battle Beast.
No. Oh God, Battle Beast.
I want to see more of that fucking guy.
He's terrifying, like in a good way.
He is so hardcore. As someone who has made a Beefy Boy Lion Man OC, my character Blackmane, seeing justice for Beefy Boy Lion guys everywhere made me really happy. This dare mascot looking motherfucker really took the main character and went, "You ain't shit." And he's cool. So,
actually, I will beat your ass. I am a lion man.
Invincible. Oh, okay, let's stress test that. So what's really cool is that that is apparently some setup. Because for one thing, in an episode in season 2, we see that one of the, I guess, council races of this like rebellion faction against the Beltramites out in the cosmos is that race of lion people. Like one of the people that are on like the big tall seats behind the desk is a lion guy. So the fact that they seem to be a race that maybe they would have more trouble against full-blooded Viltrumites, but at the very least they seem to be comparable in strength, right? Like they wouldn't go down without a fight. Already is very exciting. And then I saw on like a wiki page like 6 months ago or something, there is a comic book panel where Battle Beast seems to return and be on the same team as Invincible, and that's awesome.
I'm excited for that, but also terrified because that probably means that he has to show himself as worthy.
Oh yeah. Dude, Invincible trained by Battle Beast would go crazy. I don't know if that's actually what happens. I'm I'm keeping myself largely ignorant of what actually happens in the comics because I want to, you know, again, the way I experience media, I want to try and go in as few spoilers as possible. But if something
Personally,
like that happens,
I don't think you need to worry, only because there's so many differences between the animated show and the comics that, like, it's kind of like its
that's
own universe.
that's true. One of the funny things, since we just went on that big thing about Amber, is that apparently she was barely a character in the comics. Um, and that's the version that the sweaty dude bros seem to prefer. Um, they really got upset that she is A, black, let's be real, and
Mm-hmm.
B, actually a character with her own active motivations. So if you're the type of person that hates minorities and also hates uh, women who can assert themselves from time to time and don't just stay in the kitchen making you a sandwich, first of
Die.
all, how the fuck did you get to episode 102 of my podcast? But also, Invincible is not the show for you. And yes, die as well. Um, yeah, so navigating relationship drama, the shit of like actually learning how traumatic being a superhero is, that was all well and good. And then the day came where the GDA confirmed that Omni Man was the one that killed the Guardians of the Globe, thanks to a demon detective voiced by Clancy Brown. That's right, Mr. Krabs himself. Um,
Justice
I think
for my
it's
man.
I think it's funny how Clancy Brown does like a million different voice roles, and we're always like, yeah, you know, Mr. Krabs, the one voice role he's done. It
He is
doesn't matter
very
that this
talented.
it doesn't matter that this man was Gorilla Grodd and the detective from Detroit Become Human. No, he's Mr. Krabs first and foremost.
I mean, that's probably
Um,
where a lot of people were introduced to his work.
yeah, I mean, I probably heard him in other stuff before, but I was too young to like have a repertoire of voice actor knowledge. So once I started knowing voice actors by name, every time I heard him, I was like, "Oh, Mr. Krabs, got it, sweet, that's wild." It's funny that he can do like actual good voice roles. Turns out, one of the most well-known cartoon characters in America is actually voiced by a good voice actor. Who'd have thunk it? Um,
True.
yeah, so they wind up going full assault mode on Omni-Man, and what's really cool is every single time they came up with some kind of thing that could hurt Omni-Man or even just Mark, they stockpiled it. The freaky fucking cyborgs from the college episode, they kept a pack of them around. The kaiju, they reanimated it. Literally anything that they thought could hurt a Viltrumite, they stored it as a weapon just in case Omni-Man went rogue. And uh-oh, spoiler alert, Omni-Man is actually a bad guy. Um,
Yeah.
so there was an entire episode where it was just they were doing everything they could to try and stop him, including, yes, as you referenced earlier, finishing reviving Immortal, who just went fucking ballistic. Omni-Man! Where is Omni-Man?
I love that scene. Like, it was so fucking funny because the Mahler twins were like, man, those people are dumb as hell. Let's fix this dude, and then we can put a collar around him and control him and blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as he wakes up, the collar doesn't mean shit to him. He's just like, where's Omni-Man?
Yeah. The Mahler twins keep taking L's. It's really sad.
And then to make matters worse, like in the second season,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was some shit.
It is so rude.
Oh, I wanted to bring this up. I'm sorry, I'm cutting away from the actual serious story of the show, but we started talking about villains, and I remembered my guy, my favorite fucking villain, Doc Seismic, baby.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
if I actually edited the audio in these episodes, I would put an air horn sound effect there.
Pew, 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 pew.
Dude, I fucking love this guy. He's so good. Oh my god, I love Doc Seismic. I'm sorry. People might be like, why are you going so hard into this joke character? He's fucking hilarious. Like, and I just also appreciate villains where I'm just kind of like, huh, you do be kind of spitting though. I do definitely see your point. Because he wanted to destroy Mount Rushmore. Because it was land stolen from Native Americans and had the faces of 4 colonizers and slave owners inscribed on it. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, is he wrong though?
He's not, but at the same time, he also has some serious concussions going on.
Yeah, and he was threatening the lives of innocent tourists in the area. So, like, yes, granted, he had to be stopped. But what a fucking Giga Chad.
What an
like,
absolute legend.
like, uh, Adam Eve shows up, and what's really funny is there's so her outfit is actually modified from what it was in the comics. It was a little bit more sexual in the comics, and it covers her more in this. But even then, she shows up, and he's like, "Just look at what they put you in," and she's like, "I designed my costume myself," uh, and she's like, "Besides, I thought that you were like a geologist, not like a professor of women's studies," and he mentions that he's got like a few different degrees. And I'm just like, that's great. I love that for him. Um,
I'm smart.
it's very funny because he, first of all, he's not necessarily a joke character either. Like he was legitimately strong enough that it took Invincible and Adam Eve teaming up against him, and he was sort of putting them through the ropes for a while there. Like he's pretty fucking good. Um, and he seemingly fell to his demise in a pit of lava. Except he didn't. He somehow not only survived, but found magma people in there that he decided to team up with, which was like one of the last scenes of season 1. Um, and as soon as I saw him down there with the like fire people, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, my boy's gonna come back." Um, yeah, he already has reappeared in season 2. The excitement is real.
I felt it.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about episode 8, the fucking trauma episode. Um, First of all,
What's that? Because my brain is kind of small.
that's the one where the entire episode is the fight between Invincible and Omni-Man. Yeah.
Pain.
So to start, upon seeing Omni-Man kill someone, um, Mark immediately thinks his dad's being brainwashed and starts punching him and being like, "Let my dad go!" And Omni-Man's like, "Mark, stop! It is me." And right away, that's very upsetting. It's very tragic. Um, And then he goes into detail where he's like, yeah, I told you about Viltrum. Might not have been quite as peaceful as I made it out to be. Um, Basically, what he did when raising Mark was he raised him with Viltrum's version of the Thanksgiving story. You know, where it's like the pilgrims sailed to the new land and they met the sweet Indians and they were all friends and happy and they had a big dinner table and they ate dinner together and that was the first Thanksgiving and they taught them how to make corn. And it's like, yeah, so that was a load of horse shit. It was actually a lot of raping and murdering and biological warfare. And that's what Viltrum is. They're just, wow, they're terrible. They slaughter entire civilizations so that they can conquer their planets. And he's like, yep, I'm going to do that with Earth. And he's like, what about Mom? And he says one of the most out of pocket lines ever. He's like, I do love your mother, but she's
like
more
a
of a
pet.
pet. Cut to Debbie inconsolably crying because she heard him say that.
Pain.
Yeah. Ooh. Season 2 is going to be a lot about unpacking trauma. I want you to buckle in for that. I know you already saw a bit of it with episode 1.
I can't wait to cry.
uh, and thus begins a very bare knuckle knockdown drag out brawl. Not that it's equal, it is pretty one sided. I mean, Mark gets a couple good shots in here or there, but it's mostly Omni Man brutalizing his own son. At one point, I think they're in Philadelphia or something, and in order to make a point, because Omni Man's like, we Viltrums live for like thousands of years, and so these short-lived species, you know, whether they live or die, shouldn't feel like it matters to us because they're pretty much gone in the blink of an eye compared to us, which is a weird juxtaposition of how he perceives the world and time against Red Rush. Uh, Red Rush feels like things last eternally, and Omni Man feels like things are over in the blink of an eye all the time. I never really noticed that literary juxtaposition until now. That's pretty neat. But
Very
in order
painful.
to make, yeah, in order to make a point to Mark about just how worthless human lives are supposed to be, he just levels a building and the building collapses and Mark tries to hold it up and to save as many people as he can, but he can't. Everyone gets crushed. You see like a mother desperately trying to reach for her baby girl, and it doesn't matter. In the end, they die. It's extremely upsetting. And as if that wasn't bad enough, we mentioned it earlier, the fucking subway scene. Omni-Man just grabs the back of Mark's head, flies him down through the ground, they emerge into a subway, and he holds him up face first to an oncoming subway train. The train can't stop in time, and because Mark is more durable than a train, the train
And the
essentially
people in it.
splits around Mark's front, his face and his body, and as he's waving his arms flailing, trying to get free of his dad's grasp, people are exploding and splattering against him on impact. And that's a level of psychological trauma that I don't think a normal human being can experience simply because we're not strong enough to have something like that happen to us.
I mean, definitely not. I know for a fact I'd be fucked up if that happened to me.
That would be some shit where I wouldn't talk for like the next 2 years. Um, Side note, I did start watching The Boys. And I think it's very funny that the entire like gruesome impetus of the show is one person getting exploded against you. And like, they're not necessarily comparable, right? Because even though there were dozens of people against Invincible, they were strangers, and that was dude's girlfriend. So different levels of personal connection, but still, it was just, it almost feels like Boys was like, can you imagine how fucked up it would be if a person exploded and like their guts were all over you? Invincible was just like, that's nothing, check this out.
Pain.
And then things culminate in the Think Mark Think scene, where he flies into a mountain range, just starts pummeling the I can't even say pummeling the dog shit out of him. I already said that, and I said that for a lesser thing in this very episode. So it wouldn't absolutely. I gotta say it. I'm gonna say it. Get ready. Here we go. Mollywhopping him.
Oh my god.
This word is starting to come back, and it's borderline upsetting to me. Because I heard it in the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and since then I've heard a couple instances of people saying it. And then yesterday, my friend Cinder, who apparently has not seen the Turtles movie, said mollywhopping, and was like, wait, that was in the Turtles movie? I was just like, oh no, it's spreading.
Oh, I hate it and I love it.
But yeah, he like beats Mark almost to death. Like his teeth are knocked out, his face is swollen up so much that he can't see anymore, and he does the "What will you have in 500 years?" And heartbreakingly, Mark says, "You, Dad. I'd still have you." And
Pain.
the Zabuza thing of like your words cut deep, deeper than any blade, like unironically happens, where that cuts through to Omni-Man's humanity, where he starts thinking of raising his own son and the love that he had for his family, and suddenly he looks down at the blood on his own hands, his own son's blood, his blood, covering his hands, and he struggles for a few seconds, and hearing Mark one more time weakly be like, "Dad," like calling up to him, because again, he can't see him, he can't see what's happening. And it's too much. Omni-Man can't do this anymore, and he just flies away. He leaves. He runs away from the horror, the atrocity that he committed. And it's very easy to be like, he's the villain. Look at this fucked up shit he did. Yes, what he did was extremely fucked up. I'm not making excuses, but I do want to say I appreciate that he's not a mustache twirling person who never understood or appreciated the sanctity of human life. It's not something he was raised with, but it is something that he grew to understand on a subconscious level, and even he himself didn't realize he grew to understand it. He thought he was a worse person than he was, but when it came down to it, the tragedy of extinguishing human life and attacking his own son, it did hurt him. It was too much for him to bear, and he didn't know what to do. That's how you make a nuanced villain. That's how you make a human character. Pardon the misnomer, but it's intense and it's well written, and I fucking love it.
It is a good show. I do have to say though, his character arc and growth are, I think it's well written to a degree. I think a lot of people don't give it the credit that it kind of deserves. I'm not saying he's like forgivable and redeemable, because he's not. It's just,
There's more nuance there than a one-dimensional villain. That doesn't mean he should be forgiven. It just means there's more depth to his character that we can appreciate. I think a lot of times in modern eras, especially, people confuse a sympathetic villain for a redeemable one. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
You and I once got into a big argument over the character of Goro Akechi. And because you are a fake fan who doesn't actually play games and you get your information from wikis, you actually had access to information I didn't have access to because you were
Man,
reading about the you read about the royal version of the character while I had played the game, but I had only played vanilla Persona 5. So I was arguing that he was a sympathetic villain but not a redeemable one, and you were arguing that he was a redeemable character. And the confusion was cleared up when I later played Royal, and I went, okay, I understand what you were saying now. But I think that's a good example of how, like, not only just the general, like, media literacy stance of some people think that if someone feels bad, they should automatically be forgiven. That's an abuse tactic. You've fallen for an abuse manipulation tactic that will affect you in the real world. Don't fall for that shit. Them feeling bad doesn't excuse their behavior.
yeah.
Uh, I want you to know that if you haven't gone to therapy and you haven't learned that lesson, just because someone feels bad for mistreating you doesn't mean they didn't mistreat you.
Exactly, like your own feelings.
But also sometimes a different perspective on a character will affect how much you feel they are deserving of redemption, or at least a shot at redemption. Um, uh, I'm also very hungry. You could have just said it.
Okay.
We're wrapping up soon. I'm getting to the end. I just wanted to get this out there that I think that Omni-Man is a character that was raised to believe that he was, for all intents and purposes, evil, never questioned it, and even when the seeds were being planted of goodness in his heart, he was still consciously convincing himself that he was a worse person. There's a common theme in stories. People love to do it, of a good person slowly and unknowingly being corrupted by evil. Omni-Man is not that. He is a bad person slowly and unknowingly being corrupted by good. I think shit like that is fascinating because in our real world, we so much more often see very cruel and hurtful and negative schools of thought being easy to pick up on and replicate. So we think of evil as much more naturally corrupting than good. But if good didn't also have its appealing and convincing points, no one would be good anymore.
That's kind of a fair assessment. I think people would still be good, but it's definitely something that assists in that decision making.
Well, because people like you and me, we were raised by, if we're being a little bit more objective than we might feel comfortable being at times, kind of bad people.
Yeah.
And we had to unlearn bad behaviors that were present in our upbringing. We had to become good. So like how people can become bad, people can also become good. And sometimes it happens subconsciously. Sometimes you don't necessarily choose to adopt better behavior. Sometimes it just happens because of the people you surround yourself with. Omni-Man was surrounded by good and loving people, and that influenced him without him necessarily realizing it. And I think that's going to be important for events to come in season 2 and onward. So I don't think he should be given a free pass. I was one of the big people, again, bringing My Hero Academia back, that said, oh, Endeavor's big fight at the end of season 4, that just means that I'm now open to him eventually getting a redemption. I don't think he's already redeemed, and some of you motherfuckers are way too fast to hand out redemption like it's free samples. You should be a little bit more, you should hold that shit a little bit tighter to your chest. Don't just give out redemption. But all in all, I think Invincible is a very interesting show. It dives into themes of trauma and how sometimes putting yourself out there to try and help the world can hurt you, but that doesn't necessarily make it a bad thing. And that's what I appreciate, because Kick-Ass's mandate was largely to tell you that being altruistic was a bad and stupid thing. That was literally the point of Kick-Ass in the comics, was to say that if you want to be a hero, you're an idiot that's going to throw your life away. Invincible is more to say, if you want to be a hero, you're going to get traumatized. But it might still be worth it to do it.
Exactly.
And that's why I like Invincible. Everyone, thank you for listening. Andy, thank you for joining me once again. Do you have any stuff that you want to plug?
Stream Sleep Token because I love them. Glass Animals too because they slap.
All right, very, very, way to plug the $1 million album selling.
I love them. What can I say? I'm nothing but a sheep. Bye.
Normally when I ask people to plug stuff, it's like, oh, my Twitch channel or whatever. So that was just very funny. I'm going to say, if you want updates on the podcast, you can join the Discord. We have suggestions channel. Scotty Hawkeye, I know you're listening. You're like one of my few Ride or Die listeners. I'm sorry. I know this episode was supposed to be about Hellboy. I promise next time. I just needed to get an episode out. It had been too long. Because he went to the suggestions channel and asked for a Hellboy episode. So There you go. If you ever want a specific character to hear about on this show, you can go in there and suggest it. It also has an archive of all the episodes. I started posting stuff on Tumblr because Twitter is a fucking nightmare. So I'm Beyond Blue 2 on Twitter. I managed to snag Beyond Blue on Bluesky. I don't really use Bluesky too much, but it's there. And you can support me. It works the same way as Patreon. It used to be called Anchor. Now it's called Spotify for podcasters because that rolls off the fucking tongue. And also check out the Hall of Pods podcast network. All of my friends are really cool. They all have cool shows. There's the Fandom Optimists. There's the SJW Comic Book Club. There's True Believers, the comic book podcast. There's Movies to Watch Before You Die. And my other podcast, the Replica Program, which now has 2 episodes where we interviewed the voice actor of Zexion and Ienzo from Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh.
Yeah, I kind of made mention to you offhandedly, but we started a podcast where we're interviewing Kingdom Hearts voice actors. We interviewed him, and we also interviewed Joe Achman, the voice of Jiminy Cricket, the current voice of Jiminy Cricket.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat. You should check it out like a good friend would.
Oh my god. We're not getting started on this.
I'm slightly kidding. It's fine. Once again, everybody, thank you for listening. Stay strong, stay true to yourselves, and remember, we can all be invincible.
A little bit more gay.
That too.